morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Our top story for you today: the UAE president pledges 100 million for Lebanon relief.
As well, a new bridge has opened near Jumeirah village circle.
We're also speaking about the fact that petrol prices have dipped once again.
And as well, Kasabian is coming to the Coca-Cola arena.
We were just playing their tunes right before the show. So much fun. Also, illegal animal traps were exposed in Fujairah. Authorities are taking action, and we'd love to get your thoughts on this story.
And later on the show, we are joining by Decisive Zone visa talks with Decisive Zone, eligibility, overstays, and how to apply.
It is 360 days since the genocide continued on October 7th in Gaza. The current death toll stands at 41,416. The number of injured people is 96,359, and 1.9 million people have been displaced from their homes.
And in today's rapid weather report, highs of 36 degrees and humidity is at 70%. It rained a bit yesterday.
It rained a bit. It rained a lot. I was looking at the videos, but it just didn't compute because Production City, absolutely dry.
Nothing. I mean, I had a friend who was like, hey, is it raining around your area? And I was like, what? No, he's like, oh yeah, it is pouring rain around my area. And he had sent me a video and I was like, what? Why do I not have this around my area? Why do I not have this around my house? I really wanted rain.
It felt like it was like the first, because it's the 1st of October, Halloween season, cozy winter season. And it felt like some people got what they wanted, which was a bit of rain, and the rest of us are just like, how is that even possible? There is a comment which I loved on the post, and it was like, it was so funny for me because I told my colleagues about work that I dreamt about rain and clouds, and then they saw this video and they're like, it actually happened. So Christy _ you literally made it rain.
You made it rain. I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, Casey, I'm excited for October, for Halloween, for winter vibes.
Are you a Halloween queen?
I mean, I all the time fail with my, costumes.
Let this year be the year that we change that.
What costume would you wear?
Oh, I can't.
Halloween? You need to say it. For example, like what would you wear?
The whole point about Halloween is the element of surprise.
All right, but like hypothetically, like if let's say like
you choose something that's zeitgeisty. So I won't do this because it's very Irish related, but there's this podcast, it's two girls, and it's very famous. It's called My Therapist Ghosted Me. And there's so much part of conversation now that I would nearly try and get a friend and dress up as those girls because it's funny. So something that people are talking about that's relevant and you dress up like that.
Oh, okay. You know what? You actually gave me a very funny idea for Halloween.
Don't share it.
I'm not going to share it. I'll tell you later.
First of the month, though, it's time to make those plans. 8:33. Please tell me later. 8:33 on this Tuesday morning. Let's jump into our top stories.
So the UAE president pledges $100 million for Lebanon relief. President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed has announced an urgent $100 million relief package for Lebanon, aimed at supporting those affected by the ongoing crisis. Now, this initiative is part of the UAE's ongoing efforts to help Lebanon during its current hardships, highlighting the nation's strong commitment to supporting the Lebanese people.
Israel has continued its strikes on Lebanon, resulting in the deaths and displacement of many innocent civilians, including women and children. Lebanon's health ministry reported that over 1,000 people have been killed since the attacks from Israel have begun in mid-September.
As of the latest updates, Israel has launched a ground incursion into Lebanon early this Tuesday morning, and as well, according to the Israel military, these operations are described as limited and involve targeted raids against Hezbollah positions near the border.
So, as we said, the limited ground invasion has begun, and artillery have reportedly conducted targeted strikes aiming to neutralize immediate dangers posed by Hezbollah in southern Lebanon.
Now, in a post on X, the IDF said, in accordance with the decision of the political echelon, a few hours, the IDF began limited, localized, and targeted ground raids based on precise intelligence against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon.
We watch in fear and in terror and in shock, and we just pray for the people of Lebanon during this difficult horrific time. It's amazing to see the support from the UAE, such a substantial, significant support being sent to them. And we really just pray for the people that are at the core of this, that are losing their lives.
I agree with you. And as we mentioned before the show, the only victims of this entire thing that's happening are the people of Lebanon. Yes, no matter what political party you belong to, or you believe, or you follow, no matter what religion you are from, there's only one victim, and that is the people of Lebanon, and we wish them nothing but just like we want this to end.
Exactly. Nothing more than that. 8:36, we're going to bring the news a little bit closer to home. We're talking about traffic and an update from the RTA.
Well, a new bridge has opened near Jumeirah village circle. The RTA has created a new bridge located on Al Khail Road between Al Khamila and Hissa Street, and its aim is to reduce traffic from Jumeirah village circle for those headed towards Deira.
The bridge is made up of 2 lanes and has the capacity to hold 3,200 vehicles per hour. It is part of the RTA's efforts to improve the infrastructure of the city as a whole and cater to the needs of a growing population.
And as well, according to the RTA, it is made to connect residential areas with development ones in order to make transportation as efficient as possible. And to test out this efficiency, of course, Lovin Dubai held a poll asking subscribers, did the new bridge improve traffic? And the results were positive. I don't know if the traffic is really getting better.
Well, this is one focal point.
So maybe like the poll should be our, I don't know, go-to for the answer if the traffic actually got better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's the point of them.
Yep. And not only that, because like I want to ask people who, I asked Farah Makhlouf yesterday, like we were talking about traffic yesterday, and she lives in Jumeirah Village Circle, and she did say that traffic has gotten a bit better.
Amazing.
According to her words.
This is the thing. So look, traffic is an ongoing topic of conversation daily for all of us, and it's more pronounced for you depending on where you're in the city and what your commute is. And for us in Production City, it's particularly pronounced at the moment because they're fixing the roads in the area. Mm-hmm. But it's because they're fixing the roads in the area, and you look, and every single time I drive down Al Khail Road, I'm just absolutely astounded by the major roadworks that are all being put in place to reduce traffic. I know it's frustrating when you're sitting on it. I saw someone doing a school run yesterday. They're in a school run for 2 hours, and I know how frustrating that is, and that's also school dynamics and all of that. But the RTA is working day and night. We hear it. We see it.
That's true.
And bit by bit, these little improvements here and there and everywhere will eventually mean less traffic as the city grows.
That is true, because like the population is in the UAE is growing, and with that, of course, they will be having cars, and the traffic is increasing, and as well schools, and the list goes on and on and on. There are a lot of factors that contribute to traffic, and the UAE, it's not saying it's welcoming to everyone and everything and all of the opportunities that are happening, whether like there are new schools opening or whether there are like some new communities opening or anything really. So in light of all of that, all of these are happening. And as you said, in Production City, we have a road that has closed getting to Al Khail Road, and that has caused a lot of traffic recently, but it will all be okay. I really hope so, because like at this point, it might be frustrating for like people who live in Production City and want to leave Production City and they're stuck in traffic. The other day I was stuck in traffic for like an hour leaving Production City.
Yeah, it's wild.
And it was like, it happens at like 5:30-ish. That's when like the work is done. That's when people are leaving their jobs, heading back home.
Right.
So I would say, just like hold on tight a little bit more, a little bit longer.
True.
It's okay.
And one of the comments on this was how quickly the road was built. Mm-hmm. They were like so fast. Well done, RTA. And I think that's the crucial point, that like people are really working non-stop to improve the traffic for you. So just try and remind yourselves of that when we're sitting there for an hour daily, and turn on the Lovin Dubai Show podcast, because we'll tell you amazing things like if you are a driver, the petrol prices have dripped once again. So this will be music to your ears. It's October. The petrol prices have been announced, and it might actually mean more cars on the roads because there has been a significant dip.
Well, here is how much it will be costing you to fill up next time you are at the pump. So Super 98 will now be 2.66 dirhams per liter, down from 2.90 per liter in September. And Special 95 will be 2.54 per liter, down from 2.78 per liter in September.
E Plus 91 will be 247 per liter, down from 271 per liter in September. And finally, diesel will now be 260 per liter, down from 278 per liter in September. Thank you, Saudi, for increasing oil production, because that has a significant contribution to the price of petrol. Can I be honest with you?
Go ahead.
Every time I travel, I get nervous about filling up petrol pumps because I'm scared I'll do it wrong. I don't know how to do it.
What? Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how to open the thing. I have a Jeep. It's really hard. I have to bring my key out, and I have to say, I'm so sorry, Cafe, and I'll watch to the man who's working for Cafe, and I'll watch him, and I'll say, I'm going to learn this time, and I look, and he'll go, and I cannot open it.
You know what, Casey? I'll say one thing. You're just a girl.
What?
Yeah, you're just a girl. No. I don't mean that. No. I don't mean that. Because there is this trend on TikTok, and Masa, if you can hear me, you know what I'm talking about. So there is this trend on TikTok.
Redeem yourself.
I'm just a girl. I don't know how to fill up gas, for example. I'm just a girl. I don't know how to do that. I'm just a girl, and that's actually a very nice excuse. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just a girl. I'm a bad driver.
No, absolutely not. I can do so many more things. I am more than just a girl. My old car, I was able to open it.
Yeah.
And I know this isn't the conversation to redeem myself by saying I'm more than just a girl. But saying just a girl diminishes us. And we shouldn't allow that.
Look,
we don't need excuses. We're better than that.
We are, but it's okay to sometimes be like, I'm just a girl. Sorry.
Well, as long as I also assume that men will also be like, I'm just a boy. I'm crying, I'm just a boy. That's okay, I'm just a guy. I'm just a person. Why not I'm just a person? Why are we like...
Okay, you know what? The problem is not you. The problem is the car. Yeah. Because you done it before. The problem is the Jeep.
Yeah, no, I just struggle with it. Okay. For all the guys and girls out there, there's an amazing concert coming to Dubai. We are so excited. It's not far away. Kasabian is coming to the Coca-Cola Arena. The legendary British rock band is set to take the stage on October 13th. Not that far away. We are an extremely proud media partner for this event, famous for their anthems like Fire, Clubfoot and LSF. They're bringing a dynamic set filled with their greatest hits.
So you can expect a night full of energy and unforgettable moments as Kasabian delivers a performance that will have the entire arena singing along. Now, whether you are a long-time fan or even discovering their music for the first time, this is an event you won't want to, of course, miss. So mark your calendars and secure your tickets at Coca-Cola Arena's website, starting at 295 dirhams only, and get ready to experience the Kasabian live in Dubai. That's very exciting.
That is so exciting. Get your tickets now. Jumping into our next story, we're talking about illegal animal traps were exposed in Fujairah, and authorities are already on the case. So this is a huge shout out to the heroes of Mother Nature, someone out there who helped capture footage of these illegal animal traps, shared them online, and the videos went viral, prompting swift intervention from the authorities.
Now, the footage of illegal animal traps spreads rapidly across social media, leading to urgent action by the biodiversity team and the Environment Agency in Fujairah. Now, these traps, set to capture animals, posed as a serious threat to local wildlife.
You can see the photos of them next to us. If you're watching the full show, which I think most people are, the team quickly located the site. They seized all the trapping equipment shown in the photo, and authorities warned that these traps endanger animals, and they urge anyone, if you see illegal activity such as this, to report it to 800 368. Who is putting out these traps?
Honestly,
animals?
Honestly, I have no idea, because we talk about the cruelty that is actually performed against animals all the time on the show. Yet it's very surprising that it still is there. You know what I mean? It's like, how can someone be so cruel to animals when it's really like, how would anyone have the heart? You know what I mean?
It's so interesting
so,
how people are wired differently. I was watching a show called Long Way Down. It's a really old show of Ewan McGregor, and they're going through and Charlie Boorman there on motorbikes, and they're going through different parts of the world on their motorbikes. It's this amazing story of adventure. And when they arrive in different countries, and it's what you grow up with. So for example, they're eating something that's like absolutely gross. I couldn't even say it on the show. Just think of like a really gross animal part. I'll just leave it there. Leave that to your imagination. They're eating a really gross animal part, and they are literally gagging. They're trying it because they want to show, because they're surrounded by a family. They're at a fire pit, and they want to show that they're, okay with the customs and culture. So they start to eat this really gross animal part, and they can't. Right? They just can't swallow it. It comes back up. But the families, all age groups, kids, adults, they're just eating this like it's normal because that's what they grew up in, that's what they're accustomed to. I don't know how I got onto this from there because I don't think it's okay. But some people think this is okay, but it's not.
But
that's what I'm trying to get to.
But still, I think like eating is one thing, and then being cruel and not having the, I would say, a heart, or like how can you sleep at night? You know what I mean? It's like if I see a cat on the road and I do not feed the cat, even if it's like I don't feed her or I don't pet her, I will think about it and I will not be able to sleep at night.
But this is what I was trying to say about how we're wired differently.
Yeah.
Because you can't sleep at night, but then you said eating is okay. Now another person, if we were to have a very staunchly vegan person on the show, they could say, how could you even drink milk? How could you eat?
True.
Eating is not okay. So we're all wired differently to what we grew up with, what we think is okay. You can have conversations in Ireland with people about, eating meat versus not eating meat. And because there's my friend, she grew up with a farming background, and her dad is a cow farmer. And she was like, I just wouldn't be, allowed to. Like, we just grew up eating meat. But then other people would say, that's an absolute travesty. How do you sleep at night when you know that is happening on your farm? So this isn't okay. Never trap animals, and we're glad to know that the Fujairah Environmental Agency were massively on the case to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
I agree with you, honestly, and I don't know. I feel like maybe there should be something bigger done to animals because they do deserve. Like sometimes, like people think of animals in a way like they don't feel, they don't think. Some people do think in that way, and then that's why they go and they abuse them in such ways, and different even ways. We do see a lot of animals trapped, a lot of animals abused in different ways, and it's like fine, like they don't have the heart, then let them, but there should be like a penalty imposed on them. Like something should be done. Something should be done because like this needs to actually stop.
You're right, because these traps are absolutely inhumane. But once the video went viral, authorities did step in and they located the traps. They've removed them, and they're investigating the case. Speaking of investigating, we're going to jump into investigating the visa amnesty with Decisive Zone. They're back in studio, and we're going to have them on the show right after this very short break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today we're discussing the UAE's visa amnesty program, and we have the experts from Decisive Zone back in studio talking all things eligibility and overstays. We've got Siley Salvi in studio. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you for coming back. We're so excited to discuss visa amnesty. Is such a big topic.
And we have a lot of questions. And my first question is, who is eligible to extend their visa?
Okay, so basically it's not extending the visa. Whoever has stayed inside the country, okay, and who have not paid the overstay fines and who are unable to get over it, like get out of the country, they are able to stay. Like if you have an exit pass for now, okay, and the validity normally for an exit pass is like 14 days. And if you have exceeded the date, you can still exit the country.
Okay, I think the big question that most people will have is how can we apply? Obviously, most of us are legitimate, we have our visas, but for the people who don't have their visas, how can they apply for this amnesty?
How can they apply? Okay, the amnesty, it's not a visa like I told you. It's basically having a waiver on the fines and the penalties that you would be having on your overstay.
And then how would we go about getting that waiver? Is there a certain...
So whenever you're applying for an exit visa, I mean, this exactly the process is like you apply for the exit and you get an exit permit.
Okay.
So once you apply for it, you get the fines. If you are overstaying or anything, there would be a nominal fine on it. So once you're applying for it, you'll get the list of the fines or penalties that you have. And then you can apply for the waiver. Basically, it's done on the portal.
Yes.
It's Federal Authority of Identification. On the same portal, you can apply for it.
Interesting.
Well, how long is it available for, like the waiver?
Okay, so initially this was introduced in the month of September, and the program is going to be there for 2 months.
Okay, so if you're watching and you need to get this amnesty, get onto the portal immediately.
You still have 2 months.
And if someone overstays their visa, will they automatically qualify for this amnesty, or are there specific requirements that we need to be aware of?
No, they won't be qualifying. Like I told you, they have to apply for the exit permit, and when they are applying, they have to apply for the waiver as well. So what exactly happened is, if you notice the ratio in past few weeks, a lot of people applied for amnesty. And that's how they came to the conclusion of giving waivers to the people.
Okay.
Because if you see, in the month of November, December, a lot of people visit UAE. And the flight tickets also exceed, like it goes high like anything. At that time, if you don't have the money to pay for the fines or penalty, how are you going to exit the country? Which is why the main purpose of having this initiative was there.
Interesting.
But like, what happens, let's say, if someone can't leave the UAE by the deadline? You know, like things happen, life happens as well.
But you have to exit the country. So if you're not exiting the country, I think the last date is 31st of October. And if you don't exit the country, then you would be having the fines and penalties.
And would the penalties be from October 31st, or would you incur the previous ones that you had?
So this is something they have not clearly stated yet. So we need to wait till we have the clear instructions.
Okay. And do we know if this is countrywide or is it specific to Dubai?
No, it is all over UAE.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually really interesting because as well the UAE amnesty program has offered now a 14-day exit pass, and it's valid, you know, like why has it been extended, and as well what impact, if any, have you seen from this extension for 14 days?
Extended for 14 days. See, impact is something we would be waiting and seeing now how it is going to happen, because people are still exiting the country. And once the extension is over, then we'll see what all consequences people have to face for it.
I have to ask, amnesty is such an amazing word, and I always think about traffic fines and other fines and other visa fines. Do you know if there, do you have, we know you've got me on the show, we have to ask, are there any other amnesties that we could look forward to? And is this a once-off? Do you have any kind of ideas in terms of the future of these types of amnesties, what to expect?
For now, what they have clearly stated is only for the overstay fines and the extension that they have given till 31st October. That's it. Apart from that, no, the traffic fines, you have to pay it.
But do you think like it's enough time for people to actually exit the UAE till October 31st?
I don't think so, but it is how it is. They have to do it. Because see, like I told you, the main initiative of having all this in the place was so that people don't end up paying a lot of fines. So supposingly if someone wants to exit the country, but they have a lot of fines, so they would be trying to get the funds out from here and there until the time they arrange it. It might be the month of November or December, and at that time the flight prices are going to shoot up like anything. You know, a lot of tourists do visit UAE at the time of winter. So in order to help them out, this main initiative was introduced so that they can exit the country. The fines are waived off, they pay less flight tickets, and they can go back to their country peacefully.
Well, it is such an amazing initiative, and it's just one more marker of why the UAE is such a tolerant country.
Exactly.
But as we have you here, we always think we get a lot of questions week on week, so we've put a couple of the most common questions. They're quite generic, but we'd love to get your thoughts on them. This is from a question from the audience, and it is quite generic, but what type of visa do I need? So if they're coming to the UAE, or maybe they want to stay, so is there an answer that we could give them in terms of visas that they would require?
Yeah, sure. So if anyone is coming to UAE for a short time, if someone is planning to come to UAE for 30 days or something, they can definitely go for 30 days tourist visa. And not just that, there are different types of visa. Like I told you earlier also, we had a very huge discussion on the types of visa. So there are 30 days visa and there are 90 days visa also. So they can apply for any type of tourist visa depending upon how long they want to stay into the UAE. But if they want to have a proper residency, then there is a separate procedure for that.
And what if they want to come? So many people I know, they want to come and live here. They're looking for jobs abroad. They can't find them and think, I might be better placed getting a job in the UAE, but I don't have one coming. How does that work?
So see, there are two ways how you can see at the situation right now. One is when you can apply. There are so many portals in UAE available where you can just apply for the job. The company will send you the visa and then you can come directly on the work visa. Another one was an initiative which was introduced few months back where job seeker visa was also there, where you can enter the country, you can stay here, you can find a job, and then once you have the job, you can get your work permit and shift your residency.
Amazing.
Well, as well, another common question is how long does the visa process take?
Again, it depends upon which visa you're applying for, if you're applying for a visit visa or a residency year. And again, it depends upon which country you're applying for.
So we can't give a ballpark?
No, it's not something very generic. So it will differ to country. So if you're someone who is from India, the duration is going to be different for your application to be processed. If you're someone from another country, it's going to be completely different.
And do we have any idea of, again, this is a generic question, but requirements, someone who's interested, again, for example, they're going to take on the job seeker visa. What do they need from their country? Are we talking about, that really pesky task that you have to do, which is get your bachelor's
degree
attested?
Yeah.
You have to get all these things attested. Like, what is the basic requirement?
See, for the job seeker visa, you don't have to get your degrees attested. That is something you can do it once you get the job. And once you're getting on the work visa. For job seeker visa, you just need to have your valid passport. That's it. And when you're arriving to the country, you need to show where exactly you would be staying. So if you're staying in a hotel, the bookings and everything has to be shown to the authorities while you're entering the country.
Well, of course, another common question that everyone must be wondering is how much does it cost?
Again, it depends upon the person who is applying, which country you're applying for. Same goes for the tourist visa. It's not something very generic. It depends from country to country.
And very finally, and this is a question that's come through from Nadini Shetty 10, and this is back to the overstay fine. How to extend the visa if we are overstaying? Who to contact? You can also, if you missed the questions and you are interested in this topic, we go live in podcast. This specific show also happens in podcast, but we can go there again.
You can contact Decisive Zone for that. We can have a consultation one-on-one. Depending upon your profile, we'll guide you how you can get it done.
Well, there you go. That's absolutely perfect. Thank you so much, Sally, for being here this morning. We really appreciate your time. And if people have questions, again, they can go directly to?
Definitely. They can go to Decisive Zone and we'll help you out with that.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you, Farah.
Thank you, Keith.
And that brings us to the end of our show on this Tuesday morning. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.